Now at 5 o'clock, after more than 25 years, the NBA All-Stars is finally back here in the Queen City, and fans from all over have packed the city to take part in the All-Star festivities. Live coverage on what to expect during today's All-Star events. Plus, it isn't exactly an official All-Star event, but it is surely on everyone's radar. We're talking about all the parties happening across the city, and they're expected to be packed too. How fire officials are making sure venues remain safe with the large crowds. Plus, a fight turns deadly after shots are fired in North Charlotte. Details on the latest homicide now under investigation by CMPD. WBTV News Saturday morning starts right now.
This broadcast is sponsored in part by Hendrick Automotive Group. Live from Charlotte, this is WBTV News on your side.
Good morning on this Saturday. I'm Christy O'Connor.
And I'm Lee Brock.
It is a special day here in the Queen City. NBA All-Star Weekend kicked off last night, and so many people are in town. I wish it was a little prettier because our skyline's normally beautiful.
I know. I'm so upset over the weather for the whole weekend. It is just not going to be. We've had such nice days recently.
Sure.
These two are not going to be two of them, unfortunately. We have rain in the picture that's falling right now in a lot of places. You can see it coming down pretty heavily, and it's stretching all the way back to the west over western North Carolina. They have the rain too. So here's a little bit closer view. You can see those showers making progress. The good news is they are making progress. The bad news is look how far back the rain extends. So we have to see all of that work through before it can finally start to dry out a little bit. The good news is the second half of your day is going to be a lot drier. The bad news is we also have cooler temperatures. Look at these rain showers all the way from Lincolnton down 321 toward Gastonia. Uptown Charlotte, seeing the rain coming down right now. It's not terribly heavy in Charlotte, but there's a batch obviously just to the west, and so we should expect more at least the first half of today.
All right. Thanks for that update, Lee. We'll check back in with you soon. We have some breaking news that we need to get to first. A man is dead after being shot in North Charlotte. It happened on Gibbons Link Road, close to Old Statesville Road. Police say there was some sort of fight in the street, and that's when the shooting then happened. Robert McManus was shot and taken to the hospital where he later died. Officers say the person who fired the shots did not know the person who was shot. Police have one person in custody, and that person is being questioned right now. Detectives have not said what led up to this fight. The event we've been telling you about for weeks, the NBA All-Star Weekend, is finally here. The weekend kicked off last night with the celebrity game at Bojangles Coliseum. Tonight's game will be at the Spectrum Center. That's where we find WBTV's Caroline Hicks this morning. Caroline, tell us what we can expect today. I see the roads are looking pretty wet all around you.
Good morning, Christy. That's right. Definitely a wet day for day 2 of NBA All-Star Weekend, but hopefully people will be inside the Spectrum Center tonight. That's when the players will hit the court to show off their skills. Plus, there will be events throughout the city going on all day leading up to that main event. Starting this morning, there are several basketball camps and junior NBA All-Star Invitational events. Then, starting at noon, the NBA All-Stars will practice at Bojangles Coliseum. That's also when the Epicenter opens for the All-Star Experience. Then tonight, of course, at the Spectrum Center, it's the State Farm All-Star Saturday night. It'll be when you get to see your favorite players compete in a skills challenge, three-point contest, and slam dunk contest. And the doors open here at the Spectrum Center at 5:30. The event then starts at 8 o'clock. And coming up at 5:30, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the road closures that you're going to run into if you're headed to this area tonight. Reporting live outside the Spectrum Center, Caroline Hicks, WBTV on your side.
All right, Caroline, stay dry out there for us. We'll check back in with you soon as well. Looking ahead to tomorrow, where fans will pack the Spectrum Center to not only watch the All-Star Game, but to watch a few musical guests perform as well. The official All-Star Game tips off at 8 o'clock tomorrow night. Rapper Meek Mill will perform during the All-Star Team introduction. Anthony Hamilton will sing the U.S. National Anthem, and Carly Rae Jepsen will sing the Canadian National Anthem. And North Carolina's very own J. Cole will perform the halftime show. So be on the lookout for those. Meanwhile, rookies and second-year players in the NBA had the chance to shine at the NBA Rising Star Game. That event took place last night at the Spectrum Center. USA took home the win over World. In the very first play of the game, Jason Tatum was the player to watch, where in the second half, Marvin Bagley, another former Duke Blue Devil, also decided to show off a bit, scoring a point to get USA ahead by 59-52. 3. And on the other end for the World team, Ben Simmons also scored a few points. We sat down with him after the game to see how he felt about the outcome.
As you can see, not much defense. The guys just want to get up and play. I don't think it's really a serious thing. It's just more of a fun thing. Went out there, had a lot of fun. Met a few people that I haven't really talked to in a while. It's good, though. It's good to get out there and just get up and down with guys that you don't usually play with.
And tonight at the Spectrum Center is the State Farm All-Star Saturday Night, which will feature the Skills Challenge, the three-point contest, and the dunk contest. So be on the lookout for that. Now, while many are excited about the different basketball events happening in Uptown, others are focusing on the parties. Thousands of people will be packed in clubs across the city, which means more fire inspectors will have their hands full making sure venues stay safe. WBTV's Colleen Harry has the details.
It definitely got more crowded in Uptown Friday night, and that means that clubs and venues are getting really busy. And fire inspectors say they're watching those venues and clubs to make sure they're not over capacity.
We have inspectors at the Epicenter. We have inspectors roving, meaning by teams of 2 going out to different venues outside of the footprint. And then we have some inspectors inside for the events tonight.
The fire department says inspectors are inside venues, walking around to make sure it's safe for the crowd inside that venue. And outside at the Epicenter, they're working with police to make sure there's no overcrowding in any of the clubs. Inspectors say they have roving teams outside of the Uptown area also, going to different clubs all over the city where there are events happening. Inspectors say if a venue is at capacity or just over, they're trying not to shut it down immediately unless it's a big emergency.
Only about 5 or 6 of them were actually overcrowded, and basically at that time what we do is tell them they can't let anybody else in until we have 2 people going out, and then they can allow 2 in.
Inspectors say they believe today will be a busy day with crowds everywhere. In Charlotte, Colleen Harry, WBTV, on your side.
If you plan on attending any events in Uptown this weekend, you'll want to listen up. Riders will be stopped at the 7th and 3rd Street stations. There, everyone will get off and go through a security sweep. They'll only let you back on board if you have a clear bag or no bag at all. CATS says the normal time a train is stopped at the station is 30 seconds. The security sweeps will take up to 3 minutes. And for those riding the bus, here's something you need to know. CATS is temporarily relocating its transit center during the All-Star events. The center has moved to the surface parking lot across from the 7th Street Station parking deck. The center will return to its normal location Monday morning. CATS buses also won't enter the South Park Community Transit Center, which is on the parking deck of South Park Mall. And Lee, I don't know about you, I came in around the 2 o'clock hour this morning. It's usually pretty much a ghost town on my way into work, but it did feel quite a bit busier on the roads.
Yeah, there were people out.
Yeah, I felt the impact of all of the visitors we're having.
Right, and the rain on top of that.
Totally.
I wish there was no rain. I wish you could show people such a nice Carolina weekend, but
of course, right?
At least it's an indoor event.
That's true.
So at least
Could
there's
be worse.
that. That's certainly worked in our favor this time. This is what it looks like outside. You can see those cloudy skies, the gray conditions. You can't even see our beautiful city. It is a beautiful one. If you're watching, you can't see it. I promise it is nice. Let's take a look at the rain. Here's where we have all of this rain, especially the farther north you go as of right now. Let's take a look at a couple places. We'll zoom in right here close to Mooresville. You've got some pretty heavy rain coming down. Anybody traveling down 77 toward Cornelius or Huntersville from Mooresville, you're going to run into that batch of rain. Sherrills Ford also seeing some pretty heavy rain. Denver in there as well. Newton and Maiden heading down 321. Things are looking a little bit better for you right now, but certainly there's more rain in store for you back to the west. Here's another batch of rain. This is Gastonia. We're talking about right along 85, 29 towards Charlotte. There's a pretty rough go of it right there. Here's 485 and 77 in the Charlotte area. We haven't quite seen that heavy rain just yet, but look what's just to the west. That's going to be moving right across the area, and then there's more back to the west of that. One more batch of rain I want to show you a little bit farther to the east this time. This is closer to Norwood and Ansonville, right along 52. You've got another batch of rain as well. So the first half of your day, that's when the heavy rain falls. Second half of your day starting to look better, but then temperatures fall. I've got the forecast coming up.
Lee, thank you so much. Coming up next on WBTV News Saturday morning, a peek inside the Mint Museum, which now displays a collection of Jordan Nikes. Plus, the story behind the name of Steph Curry's new shoe, the Curry 6 Koi Fish. And where the Charlottean turned NBA star made a surprise visit last night. We're always on your side. This is WBTV News Saturday morning. The 2019 All-Star Games has completely taken over the city, transforming the Spectrum Center, airport, and now the Mint Museum. Sneaker fans can now head to the museum to view a collection of Jordan Nikes. And in case you're curious about what this pop-up shop looks like, WBTV's Kristen Miranda took a tour inside and has a sneak peek.
Nike has completely taken over the Mint Museum. It doesn't even look like the museum anymore. And if you are a Nike person, this is where you want to be. But I heard that somewhere in this building, they have those self-lacing sneakers. So I want to see those. Let's go find them.
This is first and foremost a performance basketball product, but we've embedded some amazing intelligence in the midsole here, right under the arch. We designed a little device, and you may be able to see some pictures of it over here. We call it the Lace Engine. It drops right modularly into the midsole, and then it connects to this cabling system in the shoe, provides ultimate lockdown.
Until like the rest of us are wearing shoes like this? Like, when will I be wearing them to the gym?
Well, I mean, you probably don't wear basketball shoes to the gym,
right.
I'm guessing.
But other shoes that you're coming.
Look, we designed it as a platform, like I said. I think within the next year or two, there'll be a lot of people wearing it to the gym, running in it, playing hoop in it. We really look at it as an opportunity to take this technology a lot of different places.
We talked about these MTV and sort of had a conversation about, like, come on, we can't tie our own shoes anymore. And we got a little feedback from people that said, well, what about people with disabilities? What about, is that in your heads as you're designing and thinking out in the future?
Yeah, my team sits right next to the Ease team, which focuses on exactly those athletes who, for one reason or another, don't have the ability to maybe put on their own shoes or tie their own shoes. And so the integration of this sort of technology with the work that they're doing is front and center in our minds.
Oh, yep.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
It might be too tight, I don't know.
It's actually not bad, but...
And you said you liked purple, right?
I love purple.
There we go, we're purple now.
So you can change the colors on the side. I'm just going to change colors for a little while, don't mind me.
So cool. Wish we could have seen Kristen Miranda do a layup or something in those shoes. Michael Jordan isn't the only one showing off his shoes here in the Queen City. Charlotte's own Steph Curry is also showing off his own line of shoes. This weekend, he has a new special edition of his shoe. It's called the Curry 6 Koi Fish. This is what it looks like, but there's an interesting story behind the name and the design of the shoe. It has to do with a prank that Curry and some teammates tried to play during his days at Davidson College. He was at this Kabuto restaurant with teammates one night celebrating a birthday when one of the players decided it would be a good idea to get into the koi pond. Steph Curry was the lookout. The restaurant manager, as you can imagine, was not amused and called their coach. In addition to running a lot the next day in practice, the coach made them go back to the restaurant, sign autographs, and work there for a few hours. We caught up to that owner to see how she feels about the All-Star player today.
We all go, well, who would plunge into a fish pond? So we replayed the video camera, and we saw that there were some college boys plunge into the koi pond. And lo and behold, it was Stephen Curry and his friends. We love him, we support him. I think that they grow up to be really responsible men, and we're really proud that they are part of our community.
That is awesome. And today, Steph Curry is still full of surprises. Just last night, he made a surprise visit to his alma mater. The NBA star sat courtside at the Davidson College game. Steph and Under Armour surprised players with custom uniforms last night, as well as the exclusive Curry 6 Koi Fish shoes, which is what Steph will wear on Sunday for the NBA All-Star Game. So awesome.
That is pretty great.
Is that not the coolest thing? Not only the koi fish story, which is awesome that we can laugh about it now.
And interview the same lady who saw all that happen.
But so cool that he went back to his alma mater, surprised all those people. And Kenyo, our guy who runs the cameras back here, actually was there last night and said he was meeting all kinds of...
No way!
Talking to all the fans, as many as he could, which
just
makes me like him more.
Me too.
All around good guy.
We're proud of him. We're proud to call him one of our own.
Next at 5:30, a live look at the Spectrum Center where the 2019 NBA All-Star Games are taking place this weekend. And if you're headed to any of the events, you might run into a few traffic issues when headed into Uptown. In just a few minutes, Caroline Hicks is live, breaking down the road closures you'll want to avoid before traveling into the city. And later, more than 20 years after playing in the All-Star Games himself, Michael Jordan is now hosting the game upon its return back here to the Queen City. But before he does, we're taking a look back at how the All-Star Games transformed the city of Charlotte nearly 30 years ago. Welcome back to WBTV News on this Saturday morning, an extra special Saturday morning in Charlotte, just because we welcomed so many people into our city, which is really exciting. Really a chance for us to shine for sure and show them what the Queen City is all about.
It's not always like this weather-wise.
Exactly.
I do want you to know that. Usually it's a whole lot better. Even in February we have such nice days, but rain, at least for now. It's not going to be raining all day, so that's the good news. We have the rain the first part of the day. Second part of the day, it actually gets a little bit drier, a little bit cooler, but also a little bit drier. Here's where we have the heavy rain from Charlotte all the way up 77 toward Mooresville into Iredell County. Here's the batch of rain right over top of Charlotte. There's some pretty good heavy steady rain coming in. So Charlotte up to the north, right along 77, all along 485. Everybody is seeing that rain coming down, and there's also another batch to the north. This is in southern Iredell County, stretching into Rowan County. So all of these showers have to work through over the next couple of hours. I would say by lunchtime, we're going to start to dry out a little bit. A couple stray showers, that's going to be just about it. But going from the 50s this morning to the 40s this afternoon.
All right, so maybe have a jacket, have an umbrella.
Good call.
Lee, thank you. The actual All-Star Game doesn't take place until tomorrow night, but celebrities came together Friday for another game on the court, the NBA Celebrity Game. WBTV's Alex Giles was there and spoke with fans who came from a little bit of everywhere to catch the game.
Well after the Celebrity Showdown had begun Friday night, hundreds of fans were still streaming into the doors of Bojangles Coliseum, while folks like Justin Bennett could have walked here.
And you live here in Charlotte?
Yes, sir, like 10 minutes away.
Many others had quite the trek getting to the Queen City.
We came from Florida.
I'm actually coming from Delaware.
We drive from Norfolk, Virginia, and we came all the way here to Charlotte. It took like 6 or 7 hours.
No matter how far they drove or flew, most are here for the same reason, to watch some of their favorite celebrities hit the hardwood.
Get to see a bunch of celebrities, I just saw Ron Artest right over there.
It's exciting because you get to see a lot of different people that you never met before.
Some folks always have other intentions, though.
What are you most looking forward to about this weekend?
The pretty women. Just being honest.
Several of the celebrities lacing it up for Friday's contest hit the red carpet before the game. Dr. Oz brought his 10-year-old sweatband.
It smells, see?
And of course, comedian J.B. Smoove had everybody cracking up.
What about Cam? You called up Cam?
Cam play football. I didn't know damn advice from him.
But for some of the celebs who had a personal connection to the Carolinas, All-Star Weekend means just a bit more than enjoying some basketball.
It's like kind of under the radar. It's not your New York City. It's not your Houston. So just to have everything going on here, it's a lot of fun.
For Charlotte, for us to pull it off, it's a great opportunity for us.
In Uptown, lots of fans and visitors packing the Epicenter and areas around the Spectrum Center. Ron Lee continues our team coverage outside of the Spectrum Center this morning.
Last night, the All-Star Game really brought with it a level of excitement to the Queen City. Not only did you have the 2 basketball games, but you also had the food, the parties, the music, just about everything to keep thousands of fans very happy. The Roundball faithful jammed the streets of Uptown to be part of something historic. Not since the early 90s has Charlotte hosted an All-Star Game, and back then it was at the old Coliseum. Tonight's event was big, bright, and beautiful.
I'm expecting a lot of activity to happen to give Charlotte people a chance to have something to say, you know, I'm proud of my city.
The rookies held court tonight at the Rising Stars game, an event to show fans basically whose jersey they're going to be buying next year.
have fun. It's all about having fun.
The arena was packed but orderly. Police tell me the city has been very quiet so far.
Well, actually, this is our first All-Star weekend, so I wanted to bring the kids to experience this.
The media attention here is also putting Charlotte on the board for a worldwide audience. Many at home wishing they could experience what these fans are seeing firsthand. Really, the only complaint people have was the lack of parking, so definitely plan ahead if you'll be making your way down here. Or you can always do what these guys did.
We cheated my best friend's wife. She has a parking deck in the Northwestern University.
How long did it take you to find a parking spot?
Right away, because I pay a bunch for it.
Paid a lot of money for it.
Yeah.
Now remember, there are events going on all day long today, and the All-Star Game itself will be tomorrow night, so the crowds will continue to come in. In Uptown, I'm Ron Lee, WBTV, on your side.
All right, and we've been telling you for weeks about the traffic police are expecting in Uptown this weekend. WBTV's Caroline Hicks is outside of the Spectrum Center with details on the roads that will be shut down today. Caroline.
Good morning. If you're driving around Uptown today, there are two things you can expect. First of all, more traffic than usual. Police say it's unavoidable. And secondly, several streets are closed around the Spectrum Center. 4th and 6th streets are shut down at Caldwell and Brevard. East Trade Street and East 5th Street are also closed. And if you're relying on public transportation to get around, remember that the CATS Transit Center moved to the parking lot across from the 7th Street station. Also keep in mind, if you take the blue line, you'll have to get off at the 3rd or 7th Street station for security checks, and you have to carry your personal belongings in clear bags. And if you're parking in Uptown today, you'll want to make sure to be aware of any no parking signs. The places that you typically park are likely off limits today, and they will be towing cars. I'm Caroline Hicks reporting outside the Spectrum Center. WBTV, on your side.
All right, always good to be prepared. Thanks, Caroline. And as fans show up in droves, so are celebrities. At Charlotte Douglas Airport, we noticed a line of private jets and planes. Thursday, we saw Magic Johnson on the tarmac as he arrived in Charlotte. There have been celebrity sightings all over the city, including a spotting of Kendall Jenner, Mark Cuban, and Reed Carlson. So be on the lookout. They may be really anywhere this weekend. If you're going to avoid the crowds and enjoy the All-Stars from home, we've got today's lineup for you on NBA TV. You can catch the All-Star Media Day. That starts at 9:30 this morning. The All-Stars will then head to practice at noon. That will also be televised on NBA TV. And then tonight at 7 o'clock, Commissioner Adam Silver will speak to the media. You can view that on NBA TV as well. And at 8 o'clock on TNT is the All-Star Saturday night, including the Skills Challenge, the three-point contest, and the dunk competition. It has been nearly 30 years since the NBA All-Star Game has been here in the Queen City, and a lot has changed since then. The game was played back here in Charlotte in 1991, and during that time it wasn't played in Uptown. It was played off Tyvola at the old Charlotte Coliseum. During that time, Michael Jordan scored 26 points, leading the East team to a 2-point victory. This year, he's hosting the game. So this morning, we're taking a look back at the excitement the game brought the city 28 years ago.
Preparations continuing for the start of All-Star Weekend here at the Charlotte Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina.
I think it's a dream come true getting to come out here and shoot where the best people, best guys in the world get to play.
With the focus of the world, some 70 countries on Charlotte already. Good reviews from this TNT network guy from Atlanta.
Excellent city. Excellent city. Yes, I enjoy it really well.
Walk through the lobby of the Omni Hotel and it takes on the appearance of an all-star bargain hunter's paradise with strong sales of NBA paraphernalia.
I see him on TV a lot and you want to come out here, and plus my son, he having a lot of fun out here too, you know.
I like to see Muggsy, Michael Jordan, of course.
Big NBA party tonight in Charlotte. Who'd you come to see?
Michael Jordan and David Robinson mainly.
Getting 3 tickets for $10 a piece.
From what will be a sold-out Charlotte Coliseum, it's the 41st NBA All-Star Game. America's greatest basketball players getting set to showcase their skills to the world. Almost a third of the players, former players, and coaches taking part in this weekend's All-Star activities have some sort of Carolina connection. Today is a homecoming for Michael Jordan. He grew up in North Carolina, played his college ball at proximity, means pressure.
The guys to advance if they just do anything here. Oh yes, creativity.
So cool. Michael Jordan's 56th birthday happens to be the same day as the NBA All-Star Game this Sunday. In that game, Team LeBron will face off against Team Giannis, and Charlotte Hornets guard Kemba Walker is a starter for the first time in his career, and it happens in his home arena. Last year, Team LeBron beat Team Giannis by just 3 points. The game tips off at 8:20 p.m.